She was the golden girl of Hollywood, America's eternal sweetheart with a voice that lit up the world.
At last, my heart's an open door.
But behind Doris Day's glamorous image were secrets she carried quietly for decades. From devastating betrayals to private fears, here are 8 shocking truths she never wanted the world to uncover. Number 8. She wanted no goodbyes. When Doris Day passed away in 2019 at the age of 97, the world expected a grand farewell. But what followed shocked even her most devoted fans. There was no funeral, no public memorial, no final resting place for people to visit. It wasn't an oversight. It was her dying wish. Doris had left strict instructions that there would be no service, no marker, and no public gathering in her name. Instead, her estate quietly announced her passing and went on to auction off her belongings, raising over $3 million for her beloved animal charity. For a woman so adored by millions, the silence was deafening. And yet, it made sense. Doris had spent most of her life protecting her privacy. Even in death, she vanished like a whisper, leaving the world to wonder what other secrets she had buried. But the mystery around Doris Day didn't begin with her death. It started with a dream shattered in the blink of an eye. Number 7. The tragic injury. Long before Doris Day ever picked up a microphone, she was chasing a completely different dream. As a child, she was obsessed with dance, ballet, tap, anything that let her move. She even formed a dance duo and won a local competition that gave her a shot at Hollywood. But fate had other plans. One night, a violent car accident shattered her right leg in multiple places, ending her dancing ambitions instantly. The injury was so severe that even during recovery, a simple fall made it worse, closing the door on her dreams for good. Heartbroken and bedridden, Doris found comfort in the radio, and in that quiet stillness, something awakened. She started mimicking the voices she heard, especially Ella Fitzgerald's, and something just clicked. Her mother noticed, got her a vocal coach, and the rest was history. But behind every standing ovation was the ghost of a dream that never got to live. And just as her voice began to rise above the pain, her personal life took a turn into something far more dangerous. Number 6. Chaotic marriages. For someone who lit up the screen with joy and innocence, Doris Day's love life was anything but romantic. She was married 4 times, and nearly every relationship left behind emotional scars. Her first husband, Al Jordan, seemed charming at first, but he quickly revealed a violent and unstable side. He physically assaulted her just moments after their wedding, and when she became pregnant, he tried to force a miscarriage through abuse. She gave birth to a healthy son, but Jordan would later take his own life. Her second marriage didn't last either, ending in divorce after 3 years. Then came her third husband, Martin Melcher, a man who managed to break her heart in a different way. Behind her back, he drained her finances and secretly signed her up for projects without her knowledge. When he died in 1968, he left her nearly broke and legally entangled in contracts she never agreed to. Even her 4th marriage ended in disappointment. Through it all, Doris smiled for the cameras, but privately, she was fighting battles no one ever saw. And one of those hidden battles forced her into a role she never wanted, on a show that wasn't even her idea. Number 5. The truth behind the Doris Day Show. After the sudden death of her third husband, Doris was left not just grieving, but blindsided. That's when she discovered something unthinkable. Martin Melcher had secretly signed her up to star in a television series without telling her. Contracts were already in place, and walking away meant financial ruin. Doris, who had never planned to work in television, was thrust into a world she hadn't agreed to, and all because of a betrayal she never saw coming. She later admitted she hated the idea at first, but with her finances in shambles, she had no choice. So she stepped into the spotlight once again and did what she always did, performed with grace and charm. The Doris Day Show ran successfully for 5 seasons, masking the pain behind its creation. It became one of her most iconic roles, but few people knew the truth, that it was born out of desperation, not desire. But the lies didn't end there, because even Doris herself wasn't telling the whole truth. Number 4. Doris lied about her age. For most of her career, Doris Day was known as the forever young sweetheart of Hollywood. But behind that timeless image was a carefully guarded secret, her real age. For decades, Doris claimed she was born in 1924, shaving 2 years off her actual birth date of 1922. It wasn't until her 95th birthday that a team of journalists uncovered her birth certificate and exposed the truth. The revelation stunned fans, but in Hollywood, it wasn't unusual. Ageism was brutal, especially for women, and staying young meant staying employable. Doris wasn't trying to deceive the world maliciously. She was trying to survive in an industry obsessed with youth. And for over 70 years, she pulled it off flawlessly. But while that secret was hidden in paperwork, another one was hiding in plain sight, long before she became a star. Number 3. How Doris Day got into the industry. Before Doris Day became a household name, she was just a teenager with a broken leg and a dream. After months of vocal training, she landed a small-time radio job and began singing at a local restaurant. But everything changed when jazz musician Barney Rapp heard her on the radio. He was searching for a female vocalist for his band, and had already auditioned over 200 women. None of them stood out. Then came Doris. Her voice stopped him cold. She got the job on the spot, outshining every other candidate with raw talent and charm. That opportunity catapulted her into the spotlight and opened doors to sing with legends like Bing Crosby and Les Brown. In no time, she was touring the country, making hit records, and becoming a symbol of post-war optimism. But behind that success was a quiet fire, a girl who clawed her way into the industry against all odds. And as she soared to fame, one haunting childhood memory never stopped gnawing at her. Number 2. Doris Day's tragic loss. Long before the fame, the money, or the applause, Doris Day experienced a loss that changed her forever. As a teenager, one of her beloved dogs was struck and killed by a car, and the trauma left a permanent scar. She never forgot it. That single moment of heartbreak shaped her entire relationship with animals, fueling a lifelong obsession with their protection. While many celebrities wore fur and flaunted luxury, Doris went the opposite direction. She denounced fur, funded rescue shelters, and founded the Doris Day Animal Foundation. Her passion became so intense that her fourth husband once complained she loved animals more than she loved him. It wasn't just a hobby, it was her sanctuary, her healing, and her mission. Behind every cheerful performance was a woman still grieving a quiet tragedy, and using her platform to make sure no creature was forgotten. But even as she stood strong for others, there was one personal fear she could never outrun. Number 1. Crippling fear of flying. Despite starring in glamorous films and living the life of a global icon, Doris Day had one fear she could never shake: flying. It all started in the 1940s during a tour with comedian Bob Hope. Flying through rough weather on military-style planes rattled her so badly, she developed a deep, lasting phobia. From that point on, she refused to board planes entirely. It wasn't just an inconvenience, it shaped the rest of her career. She missed major honors and prestigious ceremonies, including a tribute at the Kennedy Center, simply because she wouldn't fly. No amount of fame or praise could outweigh the sheer panic the thought of flying brought her. In a world where stars are expected to go anywhere, anytime, Doris quietly drew the line. And while the world kept turning, she stayed grounded, literally, clinging to the simple comforts of home. But perhaps that was the real Doris Day, someone who chose peace over publicity and privacy over spectacle, even when the cameras kept rolling. Doris Day may have been Hollywood's golden girl, but her real story was far more complex. Behind the fame were hidden fears, private heartbreaks, and secrets she took to the grave. She made the world smile, while carrying pain we never saw. And maybe, that's what made her truly unforgettable.